So, why did I hire a second designer? Why did I hire you, Danae?
Great question.
Good question. So it was 2014, and I realized I just really wanted more time with my family. We weren't at the point yet where we were commanding really large averages at this point. So we still had a lot of weddings we had to do in order to make our sales goal. And so I knew that if I wanted to have more time with my family, that I was physically going to have to work less. But that was, I was scared to do that. I had these dreams of a second designer, and I thought, wow, that would really be cool. I remember when I went to Amy Osaba's workshop, and she had two second designers, and I thought, well, I guess you get that in a big city. I guess you get that in Atlanta, but I'm in Conway, Arkansas, and how am I going to achieve that? So, guys, I was just scared. I was scared to do this. I was really nervous that, no one was going to represent my business like I did, or that they were going to be able to create floral like me, or maintain my image or my brand that I had built, or even that someone was going to be able to treat my clients as well as I do. Which, guys, that's right. No one is ever. I think as a business owner, we kind of have to face the fact that no one has as much stake in this game as we do as a business owner. It's our money, and it's our name and our face or whatever. And I think when you accept that and you can let that go, that allows you to open up and find the right person. I think that you have to be willing to teach somebody what you know and release a little bit of that control. I think one of the best things to know is that this relationship with Danae and I did not happen overnight. It was about a year and a half before she became a full-on designer on her own. So in July of 2014, I hired Danae as a production assistant on an as-needed basis. So I'm going to go off of the slides for a second, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that looked like. Isn't that interesting? Kelly, what's going on here? This is so interesting. It's like we were full for a second, and I'm not sure what happened. But okay, Danae, what do you remember about first starting to work with me?
Yeah, so like I said, we moved here a couple years ago, and I was looking for a job. I didn't really have much event planning experience other than a grand total of 2 weddings, one of those being my own. And so I'd had some trouble finding a job, and I had seen the previous rental company that she had owned online. And I said, well, what the heck? Nobody else is biting, so I might as well throw my resume out there and see if anything sticks.
Last resort.
Well, So I brought my resume, and I brought a collection of pictures from a wedding that I had done. And so I left them with Kelly, actually. And I got an email that Jess wanted to meet with me and have an interview with me. And so I thought that was exciting because of 30 places that I turned in my resume, nobody wanted to have an interview with me.
McAllister's Deli.
No one would hire me.
Didn't want to meet with her.
It was rough. I was kind of regretting my choice to go to college. But anyway, so I came in for an interview with Jess, and it went really well. We chatted. We got along really well. She gave me just a really great picture of her business and where she was going and what she wanted to do with where she was. And she even kind of shared with me a little bit about the transformation that she was about to go through between going from a rental company to a floral design business only. And I thought it went really well. And then at the end of it, she kind of basically looked at me and said, well, we don't really have a job for you, but I still wanted to meet you. And I was like, oh, well, this went well. Anyway, so she hired me as basically as needed. So I would come in as temp labor pretty much. And she would hire me and let me play with flowers and basically do the grunt work with her and for her. And so that first week that I worked here, we had a wedding, and you know how that sometimes you do things and you just kind of like know that they're right for you? That wasn't it. I went home that week and told my husband, well, at least I know I don't want to be a florist. So I kind of kept working, and she kept telling me like, well, we'll only use you when we're needed, and
I don't have a position for you.
Don't have a position for you. I can't really give you more hours. Eventually it's going to slow down, and we'll see what happens from there. Well, it just never did. And like a year later, I was still coming in all the time and working a lot more. And that kind of progressed from just being like temp labor to coming in almost daily to working every wedding.
So like 3 months later, throwing you in like full hair and makeup and having your picture made so that we could look like we had a team. Like it was ridiculous. But So I'm going to go back to the slides for a second because I want to share with you what I really observed about Danae during those 6 months.
Oh my gosh. It was really cold that day.
Danae has not seen these slides, FYI. Brand new. So what I noticed about her was her attitude. It was great, y'all. It was amazing. Her work ethic was so good. She never complained about tasks like bleaching buckets or taking out the trash. She may not have enjoyed doing it, but I would have never, ever known that. She just was happy to have a job. She was really kind to our clients, I think more so than I was, which was a great thing because that is not my strength. I do like people a lot, but I like to kind of get in, get the work done, and leave. And she does a good job of really going over to them and being intentional and making sure they're happy and all of that. So, and she was a team player. She realized that no one of us makes something happen. It really does take all of us to create this kind of stuff. So I kind of started out just simply teaching her. It probably started at the beginning because I didn't know how to manage the time as well. So I'd be like, here, I have to teach you how to make a boutonniere really quick because we have to make 20 more. And so I just would teach her how to do a boutonniere and corsages and floral crowns. And then I started to tell she was a quick learner. And she could do anything you asked her to do or you taught her. She was talented with flowers, and it wasn't long before I trusted her to do bridesmaids bouquets and centerpieces. So it was a cool 6 months. So in January 2015, I love this picture of Danae too. She took the position of design assistant. We did a little over 20 events that year together. I'm going to turn the slides off for a second and talk to y'all about that.
Back to small.
Back to small. Anyway, so let's talk about that year. So she sat in on every meeting with me, and what that did, she took notes, and I would talk to the client, she would take the notes, and then after the client left, we would work on the design together. I wanted her input. I will say this, if I may,